Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, October 14, 2022. The government of Jamaica has entered into a Financial Advisory Services Agreement, FASA, with the International Finance Corporation, IFC, to develop the North Coast Highway project. The $800 million agreement has been signed by Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clarke, and IFC Managing Director, Maktar Diop. The signing was done during the International Monetary Fund World Bank annual meetings being held in Washington, D.C. in the United States. It follows the inking of a Memorandum of Understanding between the government and the IFC in April. In line with the agreement, the IFC will provide full-service advisory that assists the government in all steps of the structuring and implementation of the North Coast Highway project. The project involves the expansion, improvement, and maintenance of the Mami Bay to Salem, Sea Castles to Greenwood, and Greenwood to Discovery Bay Road segments. The IFC's services will include detailed technical, legal, financial, environmental, and social studies, as well as designing the bidding process and implementing a competitive tender that results in a bankable project for investors. According to Dr. Clarke, Jamaica's enhanced fiscal credibility and entrenched stability is what has put the government in a position to put together such a complex transaction with the realistic prospect of attracting large international firms to compete. A statement from his ministry says working with the IFC may also allow the government to access grant resources that can help finance the cost of this advisory service. A fact-finding team commissioned by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security is now in Canada to assess Jamaicans participating in the seasonal farm work program. The team, which is being led by President of the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, Helene Davis White, is scheduled to visit approximately 70 farms over a 2-week period. Mrs. Davis White provided an update in an interview at the Jamaica Liaison Service on Tuesday.
Our decision was that we would choose the farms using a random sampling method so that we would be able to ensure that there was validity to the work that we are doing, that there would be no bias in the report.
Prior to this visit, there were virtual meetings with various stakeholders. The team is expected to produce a report at the end of the assessment.
The members of the team are committed to delivering a report that will ensure that the total picture is told of what exactly we have found in terms of the conditions under which farm workers work in Canada, and to also look at the program itself, and if we can make recommendations for improvement, we will certainly do that.
Over 10,000 Jamaicans participate in the seasonal agriculture program, which is spread across 655 farms in 10 Canadian provinces. The National Land Agency, NLA, has distributed 6,256 certificates of title under its systematic land registration program since the launch of its distribution activities in February of this year. Public Relations Officer at the NLA, Brittany Stewart, says the program is designed to assist individuals who have been in open, undisturbed, and undisputed possession of land for 12 years or more. Systematic adjudication areas have been declared in parts of St. Elizabeth, St. Catherine, and Manchester, and the full list of the areas can be found on the NLA's website.
The feedback has been very positive. The presidents are really excited. It has been a long time coming. They really want the land titles, and we really want to give them their land titles. There are a lot of benefits to be derived from owning a piece of land and to have documentary proof of that of ownership.
Ms. Stewart was speaking at Tuesday's land title distribution exercise in St. Elizabeth. With the Prime Minister declaring several communities as systematic adjudication areas, the NLA is advising residents to look out for representatives from its office who will be visiting their communities to adjudicate their rights and interests in land. Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, Pernell Charles Jr., is now in Tokyo, Japan for a 7-day tour to inaugurate the Jamaica Coffee Exporters Association booth at the Specialty Coffee Conference and Exhibition. This is the 35th staging of the conference and exhibition following a 2-year gap due to COVID-19. It's being used to promote the development of agroforestry systems as part of ongoing efforts to construct a sustainable Jamaican coffee industry. Minister Charles Jr. says the event event should also enhance the already strong bilateral relationship between Jamaica and Japan.
The impact of the Association of Japanese Importers of Jamaican Coffee on the Jamaican coffee industry has not gone unnoticed. You have been enriching the lives of our over 5,200 Jamaican coffee farmers, most of whom produce on less than 5 acres in order to support their families.
The minister says coffee has become a substantial foreign exchange earner, averaging over $30 million per year between 2018 and 2020, making it a huge contributor to the socioeconomic life of rural communities. The National Fisheries Authority, NFA, is inviting Jamaicans to showcase their cooking skills through a competition dubbed The Many Moods of Tilapia. The NFA's Director of Corporate Services, Angela Cooper, says that even though tilapia has been growing in Jamaica since the 1940s, its fortunes have subsided over time. This event is intended to help develop a catalog of creative ways Jamaicans can incorporate the fish in their diet.
We would like you to use Jamaican seasoning. You would be judged on the creativity of the recipe, how nicely presented it is, and by the time we get to the cook-off, how tasty it is.
Ms. Cooper was speaking at a JIS think tank session on Thursday. The Many Moods of Tilapia cooking competition is open for entries now through Wednesday, October 19. Winners of round 1 will be invited to film a video of their dish by November 15, and those who come out ahead will be invited to a cook-off. The contest is open to householders, street vendors, and chefs, as well as establishments such as hotels, schools, and catering companies. To enter the competition, Jamaicans are asked to send their tilapia recipe to tilapiarecipes@nfa.gov.jm or drop it off at the National Fisheries Authority, 2C Newport East in Kingston. And finally, His Imperial Highness Prince Ermias Saleh Selassie arrived on the island yesterday for a week of official engagements and Jamaica's special guest for National Heritage Week. Prince Ermias, who is the grandson of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, is accompanied by his wife. Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Olivia Grange, who welcomed Prince Ermias, says he will meet with the nation's leaders, as well as members of the Ethiopian and Rastafari communities. He's also expected to tour the National Gallery and the African Caribbean Institute of Jamaica, Liberty Hall, among other scheduled activities. The main activity for National Heritage Week takes place on National Heroes Day, Monday, October 17, when Jamaicans will be honored and awarded for their service at the National Honors and Awards ceremony at King's House. The week is being celebrated under the theme, Reigniting Greatness Through Our Heritage. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.